Hey guys, so I thought I would vlog today. It is May 31st at 10:13 in the morning, and all I'm really doing today is I'm doing squats because I get my wisdom teeth out tomorrow, and I usually do squats on Thursdays, but since it is Tuesday I'm going to be getting my wisdom teeth out on Wednesday. Obviously I'm not going to be able to go to the gym because I'm going to be recovering, so we're going to go do some squats. Unfortunately I can't film it, but I have found a gym that I can film in, so that's great. So we'll probably go and join that next week, and I'll probably vlog it for you guys. And this will be the last vlog that's not really in real time because I wanted to pre-film a bunch of stuff so I had things to go up, since I obviously won't be vlogging this week because, like I said, I'm getting my wisdom teeth out. But yeah, really not excited for that. And then I think I'm also going to go to Best Buy because I really want to get a GorillaPod tripod because this camera is so heavy and I just can't, I just can't. So I want to get that, and then I also wanted to have it for when I get my next camera after I sell this one. So it's not like it's going to go to waste. I'm going to be using it anyways, and I also have a $25 Best Buy gift card. So we're going to eat in a little bit. I guess I can show you guys what I eat, and then go to the gym. And then I think I might also film my how to gain weight video, so I'll probably put that at the end of this video. So if you don't want to watch it, you can just stop watching it after the vloggy stuff. I'm still bulking a little bit this week, just because I don't want to start my cut when I'm eating like soup all week and like weird stuff because of my teeth. We got it. So the one I was looking at online didn't have the ball head with it, but they had this one in the store and it was on sale on the website, and they can like price match themselves. So I got it for $59. I had a $20 gift card, so I actually got it for $40, and I'm so excited because it has the ball head. All right, now for the moment that everyone has been waiting months for. I'm finally going to tell you guys about how to gain weight. So I will probably do a how to lose weight after my cut, but this is just going to be about gaining weight and gaining muscle in general without gaining too much fat. You can't not gain fat during the process, so just know that now. But I have made a little list on my phone so I don't ramble too much, but I will tell you guys about my bulk a little bit. I started bulking in, I want to say October. That's when I really like started to understand what I was doing. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So like it's been about 7 months of bulking, and most people say like a good bulking phase is from like 5 to like 8 to 9 months, but it's honestly all personal preference, and the only reason why I'm starting now is because I just feel like it. I want to be a little leaner so that when I start my bulk up again, I don't have to worry about having excess fat, because I am a girl and that's just how we all think. Obviously not all of us, but like the majority of us. So that is why I'm about to start cutting. I'm not going to cut for too long, especially since when I start bulking again, I really want to focus on strength and getting my lifts up. I don't know, like I like the bodybuilding style of training, but I think I like powerlifting a little more, so I don't know, I might like switch over to that or just do a little bit of both like I'm doing right now. I have gained about 16 to 17 pounds since I started. I am an ectomorph, I think is how you pronounce it. So basically that means that I'm just very lean in general, and it's pretty hard for me to gain weight. So all of my life, basically, I have just been very, very tiny. I will put some photos on the screen if you guys want to see like how small my arms were and everything. And honestly, I can't tell you how many times people asked me in high school if I was anorexic which I just wasn't. Like, I ate very, very healthy. That's how my parents raised me. So I just ate really, really healthy. And I was just maintaining weight. Like, I wasn't trying to gain weight, so obviously I was going to be the same size, and my metabolism is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's still fast now, but I'm eating enough that I can gain weight with it, because I actually know what I'm doing. But yeah, people used to like ask me if I were anorexic. They'd say like, oh my god, you're too skinny, blah, 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 blah. And that's not why I decided I wanted to gain weight. I did it for myself, but also at the same time, it's just kind of like, I don't know why people think it's okay to ask people if they're anorexic or tell them they're too skinny. It's just like, skinny shaming is a thing, so is fat shaming. Like, I don't understand why anyone thinks that you can judge someone else's body. It's just very bizarre to me, because it's like, I don't really see why you care, but that's besides the point. So honestly, I used to be very, very thin. And I'm still pretty thin now, but I actually have some muscle on me, which is nice, and I love how I look right now. I can't wait to build more muscle. I just want to get bigger and bigger and bigger, which it probably seems weird that I'm gonna cut a little bit, but it's just all part of the process, and I just want to practice and see like how my body looks, and then go back to my bulking phase probably until the summer again. But yeah, that's a little background about my body type. And it's good to know your body type, because it just helps with the process so you don't get so frustrated. Because it's like, I was always like, I don't understand why I'm so skinny and so lean all the time, but now it makes sense because that's just my body type. Like, some people gain muscle really fast, some people gain fat really fast, some people just can't gain it all. And yeah, it all just depends on your body type, and no one's body type is the same. You may be in the same category, but you may gain fat in different places. Like, I will probably never gain much fat on my stomach. I've gained maybe the tiniest bit, but that is just the leanest part of my body, luckily, because I'm just glad. Personal preference, I like being able to see a little bit of my abs all the time, but not everyone's gonna be like that. And a lot of people are always like, how do I lose weight on my stomach, but I don't want to lose weight anywhere else? And it's just not possible. You have to drop your body fat everywhere. You can't spot reduce fat. It's just not a thing. We all wish it was, but it's not. So you just have to accept things like that and just kind of work with it, because it's like, you can always build that back up. You don't have to worry so much about what you look like in that just small period of time while you're losing weight. So just keep that in mind. But I think that's all I really have to say about my body type and stuff like that, just so that you guys know while watching this video. So I have 8 tips for how to gain weight in a healthy way, in a fast way. Like I said, this has been about like a 7.5 month process, so nothing's really fast. Whenever people say fast, I don't really mean fast. It's just like not more than a year, which is nice because it feels pretty fast while you're doing it. So the first thing is nutrition. Nutrition is so important. You must have a healthy foundation to actually have a good start at what you're doing. So a lot of people don't really understand what healthy even means. Healthy doesn't mean just eating salads and like eating cheese cubes, basically eating nothing like society tells you it does. It's just what makes you feel good and what helps your body on the inside. That's what health is really about. It's about the inside, not so much the outside. So like, you may not look fat and you could be eating McDonald's every single day, but trust me, the saturated fat collecting around your heart is not what you want. So honestly, that's how I used to be. I used to just eat. I eat pretty healthy because that's how I was raised, but I had the mindset that I could eat whatever I want. And everyone can eat whatever they want, but you have to realize that just because you can't see what's happening on the outside doesn't mean that nothing's happening on the inside. So, just gonna put that out there. Sorry the lighting changed a little bit, the sun just like disappeared. But number 2 would be to figure out your goal, whether it's maintaining weight, losing weight, or gaining weight. So in this case, it would be gaining weight. So once you know your goal, then obviously you want to move on to knowing your body type. So like I kind of said earlier, knowing your body type is very important, and it's very helpful because it can be frustrating if you don't know your body type and you're trying to do something and you're not doing it correctly because your body's a little different from someone else. Like if you're listening to my advice and you gain weight very, very quickly, then don't take all of my advice completely, because you're gonna gain weight a lot faster than I gained weight. So knowing your goal is very important and sticking to it. So with gaining weight, you are going to gain fat. It's just inevitable. You have to gain fat to gain muscle. It's just part of the process. You can gain a small bit of fat, which is like luckily how it worked out for me, but it all depends on your body type. So just know that while you're gaining weight, you're going to gain fat, but you can cut afterwards and you can shed some of it if you really want to, which is what I'm going to be doing. And then my next step would be to begin your diet, whatever it may be, but start slow and be patient, because you're not just going to start gaining weight like that. Like it's just not going to happen. And if you do and you check the scale, it's probably just water weight. So just keep that in mind. If you're like, oh my god, like I ate all this food because my macros are higher and like I gained a pound, you just can't gain a pound overnight. It's just not possible. So in my case, my diet is if it fits your macros, which basically means that you eat whatever you want. Hopefully not just crappy food. It is a bulk though, so if you do eat more fatty foods, it's okay. Just know that you may gain a little more fat, but if you're fine with that, then you can do a nice little dirty bulk. But I definitely recommend doing a cleaner bulk just so you don't have to shed as much fat in the long run. So if it fits your macros, you don't have to, but that's what I do. It's worked really, really well for me, and I think it's pretty easy, and it's something that you start doing without even thinking about it. So basically, macros are macronutrients, micros are micronutrients. So your macros are carbs, fat, and protein, and also fiber. Not everyone counts fiber. I don't count fiber, but that's because I know that I get almost more than enough fiber. But if you are someone who doesn't eat that much fiber, you may want to track it just to make sure that you hit that goal. And there's lots of macro calculators online that you can use to get a gist of what your macros may be if you're interested in that. So once you've chosen whatever diet may be, and you don't have to like pick a diet, you don't have to count your calories, you don't have to count your macros, you don't have to do any of that. I just think it's easier for me personally because I'm really good with numbers and it just helps me see progress quickly. But if you've ever had an eating disorder, body dysmorphia, anything like that, I would not recommend jumping straight into macros because it can get a little bit too much at times, but it honestly depends on you and how you feel about it. You just don't want to get too obsessive about it, which is very easy because you're literally counting everything and writing down everything all the time, 24/7. So up next would be to implement your training, whether you're doing bodybuilding, powerlifting, CrossFit, whatever, or you're just lifting for fun. That is up to you, but I definitely do recommend lifting if you're trying to gain weight. Obviously, if you're just trying to gain fat, just literally eat like an asshole, pretty much, if you're trying to gain fat, because you will gain fat very quickly. But if you're trying to gain muscle with the least amount of fat, then I would definitely try lifting very, very heavy, because that is how you build muscle. You have to rip the tissue so that it can recover and, you know, you get some nice little biceps going. So once you figure out whatever your training may be, then I would come up with a split. You don't have to come up with a split, but like a split or a plan can be very helpful. I find that if I don't plan out my workouts, I go into the gym and I just feel so unmotivated and I feel like I look stupid because I'm just like walking around and I have no idea what to do. So I split it up by muscle groups. So I do back and bis, and then I do hamstrings and glutes together. I do quads and calves together, triceps and delts, and then I just do another day. You can obviously implement chest in there if that's what you want to train. I don't train chest. I probably should, but I don't at the moment. But I would definitely figure out what training style you enjoy. Just try a bunch of stuff out. Don't even worry about it. And if you're looking for workouts, do what I did. Go on bodybuilding.com, go to their exercises and pick the muscle groups. And They have so many exercises. They have videos showing you how to do them. There's like reviews from people saying whether or not it worked for them. There's ratings, so you know like which works the best for the majority of people who train and all that stuff. There's also YouTube videos. Just watch people who show their workout footage. Half the time, all the videos I watch are fitness for the majority, besides maybe like 2 or 3 beauty people. I watch their workouts. I try out a bunch of new ones. And if you're ever confused about how to do a workout, just ask someone. Whether it's a trainer at your gym, someone just lifting there, a friend, whatever it may be. I literally brought my brother, well, forced my brother to come to the gym with me one day so he could show me how to use the squat rack. And now I'm squatting 150 pounds. So like, ask somebody. Don't be afraid to ask somebody. And next, check your ego at the door. I'm gonna give you guys a little story time. So one of my friends asked me one time to like show her how to do a couple like exercises. I don't remember what muscle group it was for. I think it was for arms maybe. And I was like, okay, so when I started out, I just used 5-pound dumbbells because I was just so weak. And I was showing her how to do bicep curls, and I was like, honestly, when I started, I was using 5-pound dumbbells and I could barely pick them up. So I would just use these, but she insisted on using 10 pounds. And so I started showing her like how to do it with proper form and everything, because if your form is wrong, there's just no point in even training that muscle, because you're probably hitting another muscle and you're just going to end up injuring yourself, and you also just look stupid. So honestly, people are always afraid of looking dumb in the gym. Just study the form, do the form right, check your ego at the door, and just use light weight. You want to make sure you're doing it right, which is like, it's the same thing with squats. You can easily hurt yourself if you're squatting too heavy and your form is messed up. You can hurt your back. The weight could fall off your shoulders and you could hurt your neck. There's just so many issues that could happen. So form is just such a huge thing. But she just insisted on using the higher weight, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So honestly, moral of the story, check your ego at the door. Just start with lighter weight. You will make your way up there. I was doing 5-pound hammer curls for like 3 months, and now I'm doing 15, 20 pounds. So like, it's all a process. You will eventually get up there. It's not a competition. It's about bettering yourself and how you look and how you feel. And the only thing you should be worried about is yourself and how you feel, not about other people in the gym who may be looking at you. Trust me, if guys are looking at you, it's because they're impressed, or you may be doing something wrong. So if you're worried and someone's staring at you, they're just admiring. Don't you worry. And lastly is honestly just trust the process. It's gonna take some time. I didn't see any results for my arms, I want to say, for about 5 months. Like, I didn't even see a little tiny bicep peak for about 5 months. And when I did, I felt so good. So what I would do is take progress photos, because that is the most motivating thing that I think you can possibly do, whether it's photos or videos. That's why I love doing physique updates, because I can just see how much my body has changed. Because when you look at yourself every day and you look at yourself in the mirror, you're not going to see those changes as drastically, obviously, because you see yourself all the time. And I didn't see any progress in my butt for like 7 or 8 months. I started training hamstrings hard like 3 months ago, and they're only just starting to get a little bigger. They're still basically like non-existent, but it's progress. And I was really hard on myself for a little bit, and then I looked at photos and I was like, you were literally stick thin. Like, you've come so far, shut up. Like, it's just all in your head. It's such a mental thing. Lifting is such a mental thing. Body image is such a mental thing. Obviously, we all know that. But just trust the process and be patient, because everything's not going to happen fast. Everyone always quits diets after like 1 or 2 weeks because they don't lose weight, or they don't gain weight, or they don't see any differences. It's just not physically possible to see differences in like 1 or 2 weeks. It's just not going to happen. Maybe there could be one case in like a million people, but honestly, it takes time, and you have to be consistent with it, because if you give up, you're never going to see any progress, and you're always going to look the same, and you're always going to feel that way about your body or whatever it may be. You just have to keep going and just trust the process. I know it's easier said than done, But I trusted the process, and I'm still working on that. But I've just seen so much progress, and like I know it takes time. Like I've only been lifting for like 8 months or something like that, and I've seen so much progress in such a short period of time. Obviously you get like your newbie gains, which is great, which is like the most motivating thing, but you do have to get to that phase. Like I didn't see newbie gains for like 2 months, but when I did, I was like, oh my god, I'm low-key jacked. I wasn't, but I felt like that, and it felt good, and it made me want to go to the gym. Like I love going to the gym. That's my favorite part of the day. I get really upset when I can't go to the gym. Like the gym was closed yesterday because it was Memorial Day. And I just did a workout at home because I was like, I just love the feeling of lifting. Like the endorphins and just like the pump, and I don't know, I just love it so much. But you don't have to have a passion for it like I do. You can just lift for fun, lift for health, whatever it may be. Just know like it takes some time and you shouldn't give up, because it is a lot of work, but it's totally worth it. And it gets easier. It just becomes a lifestyle. Like I don't even think about tracking my macros. I just throw my food on the scale and I put it into my little calculator, and it takes like 5 seconds. It takes like a minute longer, maybe. And it's just so helpful, especially for someone who has a really hard time gaining weight, because I know for a fact that I'm hitting that caloric goal that I need, and that I'm in a surplus for sure, and that I have the right amount of carbs, protein, and fats to reach my goals, which is why I love macros. But like I said, macros isn't for everyone, but I would definitely at least try it out. It's gonna take some time to figure out what you're doing, but once you get the hang of it, it's so easy and it's so mindless. And I can look at a nutrition label and just like almost do it intuitively and not even track it half the time, because I just know what it is. I can look at a bowl of cereal and be like, oh, that's about 25 carbs, 2 fat, like 4 protein. Like you just start understanding, looking at serving sizes. It just makes everything so much easier. If you guys have any other questions about this bulk, definitely leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to answer as many as I possibly can, hopefully all of them. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you all in my next video. I love you. Bye!